could have taken like this, right? 2 pips, like literally 2 pips stop loss, easy as it is. And then, yeah, play, bam. The next thing you know, that's a stop loss. So I've taken a stop loss over here. That was the first one. What's good, guys? How's everybody doing? It's your boy Chachi Forex here, back with another trade breakdown. Actually, it's been a while since I did one of this on any pairs. It's just crazy because today is a very special one, okay? And I literally finished my trading session and I jumped straight to the chart to bring you guys this video, especially around EUR/USD, because the EUR/USD has been a while this week and we are just halfway through the week. It's just Wednesday. We still got 2 more days left before the week finish. But even though from Monday to today, we got some beautiful setups happening all over EU. And I want to be sharing with you step by step how I've taken over 1 to 25 RR. The last RR I've closed literally this morning, and I'll show you how I managed to take them all. But the most important part of this video is not about how I caught this 1 to 25 RR on EU, because I'm not here to show you how much I made or whatsoever. It's more around me showing you guys how I use all the single concept and all the single theory that I've been sharing with you on my channel so far. I got some great feedback from many of you saying that you guys learn a lot from my content. You guys, you know, been able to grasp a lot of things. And I think that if I do once in a while some trades breakdown, that can literally help you to see how I implement the same things that I'm sharing with you every single day and how I use them on my day-to-day trading. Okay, so this being said, let's get started because EU again was just crazy. So as always, what do I say to you guys? You have to always start understanding what's going on a higher time frame narrative. So right now I'm on 1 hour, 4 hour. I usually love to go all the way to daily. It's ideal for you to go weekly as well, because that gives you literally a whole massive overview. So if we start from weekly, let's go to weekly. What can we see clearly on weekly is that the higher time frame order flow has just been broken. Okay, so what? Well, no, not now, but has been broken. So what do I mean is that this is our higher time frame order flow that's happening within the weekly time frame, right? You guys can clearly see the here arrow something like as boss weekly. So we had a break to the downside that broke not only one structure, but it broke all the way down to 2 structure. So that itself is telling us that the higher time frame narrative is towards the bearishness. It's going to the downside. And not only weekly, but you can see literally over here, even yearly and monthly is going already down, right? We can see that everything is screaming bearish over here. Now we need to go where? Within the median time frame. So let's go to daily. What can you see on daily? In daily, can clearly see, and that's very important, I will say to you guys, is that every time you have a break of structure to the downside, be cautious on how you take your trade, because the likelihood of having a strong retracement internally, it can be higher. So in this case, you can see that price broke in 2 important lows over here, and then it started retracing over here. Now, those trades over here are not the one I'm going to break down today. Actually, there are some crazy setup that I'll be discussing over the next video, because I want to bring to you guys a very particular point of view related to high risk to reward. So I'll break these down over the next videos, but let's stick to the one that I wanted to share to you guys over the last few days. Okay, so now what we go over here, we can clearly see the price temporarily started going bullish. However, the fact that we know that in a higher time frame we are bearish, we know that this bullishness over here is not bullishness that can give us or a sort of expectation that says the price is going higher. Okay, so this is very important for us to know. Why? Because if we know what the big boys are doing and what they're dealing with within the higher time frame, thanks to the higher time frame, we will know what is the best ideal type of setup that we as a retail trader should be taking. So in this case, you can understand clearly that going for a sell would have been way beneficial, especially over the last few days, than looking for any particular buy, just because price been going by for such a long time, right? Now, this being said, so we can see that we're in a retracement phase. Now, if we go to 4 hour, you guys can clearly see that the order flow internally now is way more clear, right? And it has been broken. You can see that here, I got boss 4H. That means that the way I was looking at it internally from 4 hour was something around this, okay? So this was the order flow that I was paying attention to. But in my mind, I knew that this bullishness would have stopped at one point because it's just a retracement of a higher time frame. And that's exactly what happened over here, right? So I guess now that we have this break to the downside, is telling me that price can do two important things over here. What are these two important things? The number one important thing I can expect now is price dropping all the way down here to make a new lower low in weekly or monthly. Okay, that already is the first sign. It's telling me the sellers are aligning back over here, especially from this zone all the way down with the higher time frame. By the way, guys, if you want to know why I got this over here, like this zone, because you can see literally price came here, it tapped into it, and then it broke to the downside, right? While in here, this broke through it, and then it kept going higher. If you want to know why, I'm just going to zoom a little bit over here. I'm not giving the answer now. I'll give it to you. Just look at this. So what type of price action you guys can see over here? Just pay close attention to it so you can understand, or I'm giving a hint on what is actually going on over here. And don't worry, I'll give you in a bit, like probably later, I'll tell you where you can find the answer for it, but don't worry. So you can picture this in your mind right now. You can try to understand why exactly I've chosen these specific zones as my POY for potential reversal, because literally you can see then price eventually came here, it tapped there, and then it started breaking to the downside. Okay, so now what we know is that the medium time frame, so let's say something within this, are starting aligning, as I said, with the higher time frame. So what do? We just go in and we just go with the trend. That's the most important thing I say to you all the time. Do not go against the trend. Where exactly the week has started. So if I open up the sessions now, right, we can clearly see that today is Wednesday. So this is one session, two session, three session. The session start from the purple color, which is the Asian session. Then you go London, New York, again, Asia, London, New York, right? So literally this is, Monday the 4th. So starting from this week. So what can we see? Now that we know the higher time frame is bearish, the medium time frame is going bearish, what is going on in the smaller time frame? So if I go to, let's say 30 minutes or even 15 minutes, what is the order flow telling us? Well, you can see, and here I want to not introduce you guys, but I want to tell you guys why I discuss a lot about the difference between liquidity and structure. Okay, check this out. We had a very major important low that has been broken over here, which is the 4 hour. Then the next thing you know, same as what we've seen on a higher time frame, is that if price broke over here, what do you guys think is going to happen next? What do you expect? You expect price to retrace, right? And you expect price to have a deeper pullback. The same exact thing that happened in a higher time frame. So let's go back one more time in the higher time frame. You guys need to understand these kind of things. Otherwise, you're going to struggle so much. Okay, check this out. What did they say? Break of the structure, low, low, and now you expect what? Deeper pullback. So the same thing happened over here in M15. Okay, let's go over here in 15. So you can see 4 hour break. Now, check this out. And don't get confused because this is very, very important. Here, we can see two important things that can clash within each other. And that's something that I've been discussing a lot. And you guys can see this in so many of my videos. And this is liquidity versus structure versus liquidity. And I'm going to put the video over here if you guys want to watch about it. But basically, you can clearly see that as soon as price breaks over here, from a liquidity point of view, there are so many reasons for price to go higher. Why? Because first thing first, we have rated an important low to the left. Secondly, you can see that there is a specific type of liquidity happening over here. So you have like a trend liquidity, you have build up basically. This is a build up. And on the top of that, you have also what? Equal highs over here. But wait, those are not just any equal highs. Those are Asian sessions equal highs. Okay, they are extremely, extremely crucial and important. And again, I made a very, very good video. Like it's literally almost a masterclass around liquidity. You can watch it. That's the link over here. That's the video. So what exactly is going on? Now, here you have all the hints of the world of saying that price is screaming that want to go to the upside. But guess what? I was looking just for sell. Why? Because as I always say, I stick to the structure, I stick to the order flow. The reason for it is because, yes, it's true. I do see liquidity over here, but the way I see it is that I don't move the market, right? So I don't know if price after taking the liquidity to the left is gonna go all the way up to take these liquidities over here. And again, these liquidity are very, very important, okay? So if you guys have watched my video about liquidity, you will understand why they are very important. But as you can see, when price reach this specific level, price is not doing nothing. Price comes here, right? It goes down, it goes higher, and then it starts again aligning back with the original order flow, which is basically bearish, right? So you can see bearish over here, right? It's dropping down and it's starting going down. So what do we do over here? We go with the structure, we go with the flow, because one thing is me predicting and seeing price going above there. Don't take me wrong, as a target, they're beautiful. Okay, there's nothing wrong about it. But then on the other side, I can see the order flow is going down. So what do I do now? Shall I go buy or shall I go sell? You see, that's the problem. And that's why I always say to you, you have to stick with only one thing. You choose structure, you stay with structure. You choose liquidity, you stay with liquidity. You can blend them both if you have like some confluences, and I'll show you that in a bit as well. But you can clearly see here, the price starting going up, right? Then it's going down, up. Now we have a break of structure to the downside over here, right? And that itself is telling me that the sellers are still strong in the market. Therefore, all I needed to do is just follow the structure. It's going higher, and then price breaks all the way down here. Now, this is beautiful because here, I'm pretty sure, again, a lot of people that trade in liquidity, they might be thinking that this London Open over here, that has taken out all this liquidity to the downside, is probably mitigating something over here because of the imbalances. While me on the other side, all I was looking was just for sell. So where did I get into the sell? So when price came over here, right, let's go to the smaller time frame. So now we're gonna get right into the trades. So when we came here, let's go to M1. Okay, zoom out a little bit and voila. So what we got over here. So bear in mind that this is a London session. This is the open of London session, somewhere around here. Price comes here, goes to the upside, and then I couldn't take this trade. By the way, this was extremely beautiful because here is the moment where you guys can understand how to build liquidity with your structure. So what is actually happening over here? And again, look at this. We have tons of liquidity over here, right? And then price comes where? Exactly within the extreme of this zone, right? This zone over here, because this is the supply, this is the high that made the low all the way down here. I couldn't unfortunately take any trade over here. So all I did was still waiting for further confirmation. And the next thing you know is that price breaks structure internally, which is high, low, high, low, high, and then bam, we have a break of structure. And guess what? I couldn't take, again, I couldn't take anything over here as well. I wasn't on the chart. I wasn't on the computer at this time. But then when price started going to the downside over here, right, I actually had 2 POY. Now, the reason why I had 2 POY, one second. All right, let's go in. So the reason why I had 2 POY, it was because first thing first, I want you guys to pay close attention to this. What is happening over here? Like, you know, when you have this type of POY, they are one of the cleanest POY that you can ever get. Like, just look at it. What is it that you guys can see happening over here? Like, this is literally screaming out saying, place a trade, like literally. But before I tell you what this is about, let me tell you why I have taken a trade over here. So now, what happens is that I missed this trade. I've seen a very strong momentum to the upside, and then suddenly everything started dropping to the downside. So what happened is that my POY, my first entry, was over here. Okay, as soon as price started breaking to the downside, I was like, well, I'm taking a trade over here, and the target was kind of long, very, very long, and I'll show you where is the target, don't worry, in a bit. But then eventually, when price started retracing, I couldn't get any entry. And then price, the next thing you know, is that broke to the downside. And at this point, I was like, okay, we are following the bearish order flow. Price is still showing me the intention of going down. The momentum seems to be stronger, right? So what do? I just follow the structure. So that's exactly what I did. So I've placed a trade somewhere around here, right? And this, again, was very, very clean. So you can clearly see that we have some type of order block over here, right? You got liquidity, even if you want to put liquidity, you got equals, blah, blah, blah. Gas taken out, and then price run away to the other side. You could have taken like this, right? 2 pips, like literally 2 pips stop loss, easy as it is. And then, yeah, play, bam. The next thing you know, that's a stop loss. So I've taken a stop loss over here. That was the first stop loss. Now, what happened next is that as soon as I saw this hitting a stop loss, I knew that now price, the likelihood of this coming over here was extremely high, especially because New York session was just about to open. So I literally left a pending order over here, and the way I did it, I stayed a bit large because I was like, I can't miss this because that was a very, very clean setup. So the way I've taken it was roughly, I think somewhere like this. Okay, yeah, was roughly around 5 pips because it was a pending order. So I didn't want it to mess around with the spread and all of it, especially because during the session open, the spreads get a little large. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. So what happened is that that's the way I've taken the trade, right? And then, yeah, boom, there we go. Price came straight to that point, and then it started melting all the way down, right? So check this out. price came over here, but why it came here? Look at this. If you pay attention to the candles, you can see that there's a specific narrative building over here. You have a specific build up happening over here. This is, by the way, this is very, very in a smaller time frame. But if you had like second time frame, you could have seen that better. But anyway, let me show you through the candles. You have a build up over here. Price first takes liquidity to the downside, then takes liquidity to the upside, right? You can see that with the wicks, and then boom, it ran away on the other direction. The most beautiful thing about this is that as soon as price broke to the downside, we never had a mitigation. And on the top of that, price did what? Another mini build up over here, right? I mean, if I would have refined this, like I could have taken a very impressive trade over here just by based on the narrative and on the understanding of what is actually happening on the POY. I could have literally taken this trade as this, okay? But I haven't done it because I left a pending order. I was like, no, these need to get filled. And especially I was also happy with the target I had in my mind. And because of the spread and the session open, I was like, okay, just leave it like this. 5 piece is more than okay for me. Never mind. Because eventually the TP was extremely juicy. So where was the TP? So the TP, I think I targeted all the way for a nice 1 to 12. Okay. So let me show you what is the TP. So if we go to the left, okay, again, you have to also have always a point of reference. Okay, that's the one. So this zone over here, this yellow zone was my TP. However, one second, let me show you this, all right? Stretch a little bit. I think, yeah, I targeted for a nice 1 to 12. By the way, I've taken a bit of partial over here because I needed to get back the lost staff over there. So that's extremely important as a part of your risk management. Do not always let your trades go, especially if you hit losses or you need to recover any losses. So I think I went for a 1 to 12 because it was reflecting back to my TP criteria according to my risk management. However, my ultimate target was down here, right? Then the next thing you know, bam, price melted, hit the TP for the day. That was a nice 1 to 12 with a little bit of partial taken at this specific level over here just to recover the losses. And then the very next day, I kept following the price. Once again, I kept following the price. Oh, by the way, if you guys are wondering why I have a TP over here, actually, I'm going to show you this. This is a little bit of advance. I don't want you guys to confuse, but I'm going to give you some hints so you guys can understand why I have targeted over here. And actually, as I always say to any of my videos, everything has to be objective. Everything has to have logic before you pull the trigger. Okay, why I went for this POY exactly over here. First thing first, let's understand what is happening in this price section. But most importantly, what do we have over here in the left, right? We have a very important supply, which is in this zone over here. Why this supply is important is because, guys, every time pay attention to what happens to the left. So in this supply, we have this zone, right, that is breaking this low to the left, which is a demand. Now, why this demand is important? Because this demand is the exact zone. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can understand, right? This demand is an important zone where price traps so many traders, any type of trader, retail trader, institutional trader, SMC, whatever. Why they trap trader is because at one point when price came in this level, price broke to the upside, right? It broke structure. It broke this specific structure over here, right? So pretty much a lot of traders, they have tried to take a buy from this zone. But the next thing you know, the buy just got destroyed from the seller on this zone. Now, this means that there has been a very strong interaction between buyers and sellers in this specific level. And this exact level has been broken from the yellow zone that I got marked over there. But again, pay attention because that's the way you guys need to always think when you jump on the chart, okay? Not just because this was an important supply that has been broken from it, but most importantly, you have to understand what's going on the right as well. And what do you guys see on the right? Okay, we got an alert that got triggered. Okay, more than an alert, so I need to go in to see what's going on. Anyway, here you can clearly see that we had something very important, which is a huge candle to the upside. And this candle to the upside was due to the news release around 1 o'clock or some whatever on Tuesday, 14th of November. So the question that I ask myself is this: who on earth will have enough potential or enough money to come to this specific level and break to the upside, if not the institution or the big boys? Okay, just think about it. You are starting trading over here. You know that there is a news release in a bit, which is around 1 o'clock, 1:30 UK time. I'm pretty sure that most of the trader, if you are pro trader, you stay aware of it. including myself, you will never take this trade because you know that there is a news release right in the corner, and majority of the traders probably are not even taking any trades. So when price reached that level, I was asking myself this question: what are the type of traders, like a breakout traders, I don't know, support resistance trader, who are the one that could have had enough potential to consolidate over here and then break to the upside? You guys see how I think when I analyze valid POY? So look at this. This is a massive, huge candle. How many traders do you think are inside this level? And how many traders you think over here after a huge news release, taking into consideration the spreads, right? The pips count, because the average ADR goes extremely higher, especially when you got a news release. I guess not many of them, right? It will be definitely something the big boys are doing over here. They had enough strength to break the important supply to the left. Now, this is a very advanced concept that I usually, keep them for myself, but I share it with you guys because, again, transparency as its finest. So I don't want to show you things and you'll be like left with confusion and doubt. It's something that you can backtest a lot, especially during the news releases and when you see particular events happening. So that's why that was my target as a first TP. Well, literally the last TP over here. I could have held all the way down here, but I already made the 1 to 12 that I was looking for as part of my plan. So therefore, that was the range where I wanted to see price to come. Now, the very next day, so this was on Monday. Now, if we go to Tuesday, which was literally yesterday, we can see what's going on. Again, the same exact thing. Look at this. Price breaks to the downside. Guess what? People that are trading liquidity, they probably have taken a lot of buys in here, right? Again, the same things. Look at this. Build up, Asian high over here. So what do you go? Build up, Asian high, build up, Asian high. Same things. Guess what? Probably they have taken the trade buy over here, targeting over there, but it didn't happen. Price comes down here, it goes up, it breaks again to the downside. Now, I know for a fact that I can go for a sell. First thing first, because we did not reach my POY over here. Secondly, price is still screaming bearishness thanks to the candles and the momentum I'm seeing over here, right? And thirdly, it's just structure. Again, price could have easily came over here, right? By the way, this made like liquidity equals over here to the downside. You can see. And then you had also Asian highs making a lot of liquidity over here. So price could have easily gone up, but it didn't, right? So I just followed the structure and that's what I did. So you have again Asian high liquidity, but guess what? The structure screamed to the downside. Now I came over here. Let's go to M1 and let's see what exactly price did within the specific range. And trust me, that was the most cleanest setup that you could have ever taken literally yesterday. What is happening order flow wise? You can see first thing first that yes, Asian high has not been taken out. Price made equals, massive equals over here to the downside. All right, let me show you. Okay, cool. Massive equals over here. Now you got also what? Liquidity lying over here. Price takes it out. So therefore, what I was thinking is that, okay, my order flow is still bearish. We're going down. We have liquidity over here. Even if I don't use liquidity, still as a confluence, this is beautiful because it's aligning structure plus liquidity. That's when I see liquidity to be effective as a confluence. That's it, nothing more. And then the next thing I know is that if during Asia I had a stop hunt over here, most likely the structure will follow it just because this can be a mitigation zone. And then the next thing you know is that internally price broke a beautiful structure. So from here to here, it goes over here. That means that it mitigates over here the stop hand that we had earlier from the Asian session. And then boom, break to the downside. And the next thing you know, just wait for the retracement and then bam, target where all the way down here. Now, this one was interesting. Let me show you the difference between this entry and the other entry, right? As you can see, this one, I've taken it, I've taken it over here and the stop loss was above there. Roughly again, this one was 5 pips somewhere. Yeah, exactly. This was around 5 pips. Now, why my stop loss is over there? What can you guys see over here? You remember the previous POY? We had a lot of, liquidity, blah, 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 blah. But in this one, we don't have that. In this one, it's not pretty clear of what's going on. The only thing we have is this imbalance over here. But is this enough for you? You see, guys, that's the thing. You have to always understand what is it you're looking for. And the way you're taking your trade, so then you know where you can put the stop loss. Let's do the narrative together. What can you see? What's going on over here? Well, you can see, if you zoom a little bit internally, right? Let me zoom a little bit inside. Okay. You can see again, through the candles, that here we have some sort of liquidity hunt, break to the downside, we had a mitigation, and then price running away over here. So for me, I don't see anything that requires mitigation rather than seeing these inefficiencies that need to be filled down, right? So it's not quite clear what's going on. Therefore, just to be safe, I left a pending order within this zone. So I made sure that I filled the imbalance and I left the stop loss over here just in case if for any reason, let's say that this were to be the next liquidity or whatever for the price to happen, right? And on the top of that, liquidity or not liquidity, this is break of structure, retracement, and then we're going down. And guess where is my target? Yeah, just guess about it. Yeah, I think you pretty much got an idea. Why? Because you knew it that was my initial target that I had for the other trade. It didn't go through that. So what I did, I targeted all the way down here. But this time was for a 1 to 8. Okay, I didn't go for a 1 to 12. And then the next thing you know, let's go, is that bam, price came here literally within that zone and hit my TP. Now, it was quite interesting. Something very interesting happened over here is that in this zone over here, I've taken a little bit of partial. There's a line. I've taken a little bit partial within this zone because price started ranging. And that's not what I want to see, because I want to see price rushing through these zones over here and coming over. So just to be safe, I take a little bit of partial. And then during New York, price literally missed my TP and then it went back. At this point, I was 100% sure that was going to get taken out. And also it was due to the news, and strangely enough, the spread didn't take me out. I was actually very, very surprised. And then, yeah, price came and it hit my TP. And there you go. That was yesterday. And again, guys, you can clearly see that is all based on objectivity, structure, POY, timing, session, whatever you know, put it. And then again, we went down. And let's go to today. So what's going on today? Now, today was very, I have taken a very conservative trade because today was very, not confusing, but let's put it like was a little bit of dangerous, right? Why? Because now price has hit the POY. It went through the POY, but then I was thinking, okay, what exactly price should be doing right now? Because we've been going down for ages now. It's been going down for days. Yes, we went down on Tuesday, we went down on Monday, but then price didn't do any retracement. So is it today the day that price is going to retrace probably? Well, I don't know. But one thing I know is that I just follow the structure. I just follow the order flow. And then guess what? The same exact thing. Guys, this is crazy. Like if you guys are not watching my videos and you're not learning from it, not backtesting, you are missing out crazy, crazy trades. Okay, check this out. Again, the same thing. A lot of people probably are looking to target the Asian highs. By the way, this is live. This is today. So it might happen. We don't know. But what I know is that when price came within the range, I can clearly see that the structure is building liquidity. It takes out and then boom. The next thing you know, price breaks structure to the downside, and is the exact same thing happening like what? Yesterday. Guys, do you see when you understand the market how repetitive it is? Like, look, I mean, it's not a joke. Look at this. Literally, equal lows, equal highs, price take it out, comes down, break the structure, all the structure, retracement, mitigation, entry. Okay? Look at this. Equal high, equal low, price takes it out, breaks the structure. What do you guys think is gonna happen next? Like, come on. Like, even before I break this trade down, I'm pretty sure you guys know already what's gonna happen. What type of setup do you think I have taken it? It's the same exact thing, because that's what you need to do when you're traders. When you're trading, you have to always do the same exact thing over and over and over again. And that's what we're gonna do now. So let's go to smaller time frame, right? Let's see what is happening over here now. We can clearly see that price started breaking to the downside, taking the liquidity, had an impressive rush over here. It came to this zone, right? Then price went higher. Now I'm waiting for what? Price to come within this zone, because this is the extreme supply that's taken out all this liquidity. By the way, it was actually very good when you go to M1, because you can see that it just kept doing multiple stop hunt within what? Smaller time frame. So again, I don't care what is going on with the liquidity. All I care is that my narrative within the structure is aligning beautifully with what's going on from a liquidity perspective as well. So I can see that we're bearish. All I gotta do, wait for bearishness. And yes, exactly, that's what I do. Price goes up, waiting for the break of structure, bam. Price break the structure. Guys, isn't the same exact thing as what I showed you about the yesterday setup? Okay, now what do? I wait. However, this time I waited instead of leaving a pending order, because price, compared to what actually happened yesterday, right, has taken the liquidity first to the downside and then it started retracing. Okay, so you can see here, for example, the trade that I've taken over here, this low when it retraced, retraced is different than the trade I'm about to take over here, because here the majority of the liquidity has been taken out. But again, the fact that I'm following the structure, I need to just wait to give further confirmation to myself. And that's exactly what I did. So now when I saw this going to the downside, I was like, okay, let's see what's going on. We're gonna break a structure. Let's wait a little bit. Price goes higher, higher, higher. Then at this point, this exact moment, I went in, started to see what's going on M1. And as usual, now I think I've shown you so many times, you might already can spot that. You can see that price comes here, okay? Again, same thing all over again, every single time. You can see price building up liquidity over here, right? There is equal high. Why do I care? Because the structure is broken. The liquidity narrative is aligning within the structure. So I know I'm within the right narrative. And then what I did was taking the trade over here. But let me show you. So I've taken the trade somewhere around here with like 2 pips, right? Then the next thing you know is that price activates my trade. So I was like, okay, we are in. Now we're probably going down. But then the next thing you know is price coming over here. Yes, it took me out. This damn over here, it took me out because of the spread, because the stop loss was 2 pips, right? So when this came over here, this one took me out because of the spread. And honestly, it was very annoying. But then I knew that this pattern over here is the same exact pattern that I shared with you guys literally on my last video about liquidity. So if you guys watched that video, I made a very, very good explanation on why lately this type of pattern is happening quite a lot. Like you got high, low, build up, price sticks out, breaks to the downside. This becomes an SMC trap. And then the next thing you know, price liquidates even the SMC trader. And then all you got to do, again, even if it's a stop loss, you just stick to your narrative and your way of trading. That's exactly what I did. I knew my bearishness was still valid and I needed to just wait now. So I've seen price break into the downside. As soon as I saw that, what do you guys think I did now? Well, there's an efficiency over here. Price definitely need to mitigate somewhere around here. And I placed a trade. Actually, it was a fat trade over here. Okay, over here. Somewhere around 3 pips. This time I stayed safe because I wasn't worried this time about the spread. The reason for it is because, sorry, that was like, again, I left the same zone. The reason for it is because this was my important supply that has been consumed from this week. And this week over here was a clean stop hunt. So I knew that the likelihood of price coming over here is extremely low, especially because after the stop hunt, we have also an imbalance over here, right? So then I've taken the trade. Price started breaking down, up, whatever. And this was literally today. But this time, I did not target crazy. What I did instead was targeting 1 to 5 over here, right? Somewhere around here, I think. Yep. And then the next thing you know, blah, 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 blah. Price been raining a bit for the whole day. It came back one more time over here. Not gonna lie. At this point, I was like, probably price is gonna do some weird stuff. It's gonna probably break through the upside. And voila. The next thing you know, price came over here, hit the TP, and it's done. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth I did not go for price below this zone? Well, guess what? Let me show you. Because this setup over here, right, what is it? Exactly, 1 second. Again, is the same explanation as what I said before. Okay, if I zoom out a little bit so you guys can see clearly, it's this. What if, so here you can see equal price doesn't take out anything. So I was the one that when actually, when I've taken the trade, my intention was going towards the direction of the structure plus the stop hunt, because definitely that was liquidity. But in this case, the stop hunt has already happened. So I needed to be conservative because I was like, okay, what if price comes here, mitigate this and then goes higher, right? And this was very important. And then on the top of that, to be honest, I mean, okay, I still got like alerts coming after alert. But honestly, I'm not taking anything. I'm not doing anything because I'm done for the day. Like this was more than enough for me. I took a loss. I took a little bit of partial thing. But anyway, that was fine. But that was literally the last 3 days of me going back to back. And as you can see, as I always say, don't go for counter trend. Try to always prioritize your pro trend. And I hope this is giving you a deep understanding of how to put things together between structural liquidity and most importantly, how to understand also the different variation of POY. Because one thing I see happening a lot is that people sometimes, they have a very specific type of POY. they are focused on, which is absolutely good. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Because you have to be always specific and you have to do always the same thing. But then what happens is that when they miss out a lot on their POY, that is the time where they start getting affected emotionally and they start making silly mistakes because they started getting revenge, FOMO, greediness, and all of this, right? So that's why having different understanding of what is actually going on, because market is just always keep giving you different type of information. As long as your basic narrative follows through the same exact process every single time, you should be good to go. Because you guys seen clearly how I broke down this POY, how I broke down this POY, and how I broke down this POY. I had two losses. What is it? One loss over here, one loss over here. This one was almost about to be a loss, but for some reason, it just didn't take me out. So that's absolutely fine. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what actually happened. So in case anyone is wondering or is asking, did he actually take these trades? Well, don't worry, because I did. And let me show you the screenshots over here. You can see on the right corner over here, those are the screenshots. The third trade, the trade from today, unfortunately, I couldn't take the screenshot, but you can clearly see that I closed the position, right? Those were my entries and my exit, exactly, as a price. By the way, check this out. What did I say before? That potentially today in New York, we can see price breaking through and taking the liquidity. But again, if I were to take the trade, guess what I will do? And again, this is not a signal, but by the way, by the time that you guys watch, okay, look at this. That would have been definitely a nice one for a follow through, right? And just keep going with the order flow, right? So order flow is going bearish, we go bearish. That's it. Simple as that. If it breaks to the upside, guess what's going to happen? If this breaks to the upside now, again, let's go over here. So if price now breaks to the upside, we know for sure that the likelihood, the probability of price retracing above is extremely high. What are the confluences we're getting from it? First thing first, always the structure. If this breaks to the upside, we know the structure is telling us the intention of going higher. Secondly, we got a lot of targets over here. Got all this liquidity over here as a target. And I know people that are trading liquidity, they'll be like, oh, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here, right? So that's why I'm saying every single time that no matter what type of strategy you use, be always respectful and mindful, especially respectful towards every single type of trades out there. Okay, everybody has a different strategy, and that doesn't mean that your strategy is better than anyone else. And I heard so many people, especially lately, about all these people trading liquidity. Oh, structure is bullshit, that is bullshit, subordinate is bullshit. No, nothing is bullshit. Everything works in the same way, right? Just be respectful. That's it. Because now anyone can come here and start, making jokes about people that are trading liquidity. Oh, why your Asian high didn't got taken out? Why your build up didn't got taken out? And blah, blah, blah. But guess what? We don't do this. We don't do this kind of stuff over here. So guys, if you want to know better and you want to know more about liquidity and structure and the way I see and I implement them on my chart, make sure that you watch this two video over here. The first one is about understanding whether the structure is a lie or not and what is the difference between the structure and liquidity. And the second one, this video over here, with the trade breakdown, you can literally see how I have taken trades using the logic between structure and liquidity. This being said, I wish you very good luck with the rest of the week. See you to the next one.